Okay, does that spot look familiar? This is a familiar spot for us, but we're gonna keep running it while we can. So another wrap-up video. This time of year, we're doing a lot of them because we finish up everything for SEMA and for Dino's. And then in 2 months, we've got LST. So this one was at Dino's and it was presentable, but not done. So now we're, what are we, first or second week of January, and this one's done and ready to go to LST. So we're actually gonna send this back early because Marlon lives in Louisiana, so he can handle getting it from Louisiana to LST, and this one will be on our booth there. But for the sake of time and not getting kicked out of the spot, let's give you the rundown on this truck. So Marlon brought this truck to us in a little bit different condition. So he had pre-purchased a GSI chassis and sent that over to Jason and the boys over at High Test. And High Test did the exhaust and some of the wiring and plumbing, like mostly like the air system, but this was done so long ago that it still had the AccuAir CVT in it. So we had to remove the compressor out of the CVT, convert it to just a VT. We had to do some other little things here. There was no engine and transmission in it when we got it either. But then we got that from Arizona High Test, and then we got the cab and a bunch of sheet metal parts from Premier. So we weren't in charge of this from the very get-go, but that being said, we did touch just about every single thing on the truck to get it to where it is now. Let's get into it. Outside first, United Pacific headlights. These have the cool little LED bar in them. They're LED headlights as well. Kind of standard, not a ton done up here. This is stock grill, replacement grill, and stock replacement bumper. We have a set of shot wheels. So these are 20 by 8.5s up front, 22 by 12s in the rear. We'll go over the rear fitment here in a sec. These are actually stock door handles. So you wanted these because they have the lock still on them, so you can still lock and unlock this truck. We do have one-piece window conversion. These are electric windows, so no more vent window. Still even has wipers on this thing. So very sleek and cleaned up, but at the same time, it still has some of the original features. So just like on Derek's blue truck that we did the wrap-up video on a month ago or so now, 2212s out back. What's fun about 2212s on these trucks is it requires a bunch of work. So this bed is a Marquet bed, but this has been moved up. Same thing, it's about level, a little bit above the body line on the back of the cab. So the whole bed comes up. And then the fenders actually come up on the bed too. So notice there's no gap right here. Factory, there'd be a couple inch gap, maybe a 2-inch gap. So move the bed up, move the fender up. That gives us clearance to get the tire under here. But then we've got to extend the skirt and extend the fender and relocate the running board to make it look like nothing's happened. So all that's done on the side. We come around out back. We've got some flush mount LED taillights in there. Those are like a street rod taillight. They're a universal one, so they're not off of something, but they're a universal taillight. We cut them into the back of the fenders. Super cool and clean look. We also did a roll pan on this one, so we wanted a roll pan. We had to do some extensions and stuff on the side to kind of close it out. And then we've got a Marquet tailgate, which is nice because it just has the button in there, some chrome hardware, and then this one's a heart fab panel in there so we can, you know, charge a battery or jump start it or whatever from back here. Bodywork and paint done by Eye Candy Paintworks and all those guys over there. Inside the bed, we have a Marquet bedwood that we've cut to fit. And these are just kind of standard wheel tubs. We welded those in. They've all been bodyworked and smoothed out. And then we used some nice hardware to do attach the fenders from the inside to the outside. Still wanted to make the fenders bolt on and off. These are not welded to the bed sides. The downfall to that is you do get some hardware in the bed, but we tried to make it look as nice as we could. Underneath the nicely stained Marquet wood bed floor, we have a very dusty undercarriage because we have not cleaned this one up underneath to send back to him yet. And honestly, I didn't look under here before we came to film the video. So this is dusty, but at least you know it's getting driven. It probably will be a trailer queen because everybody likes to call them that, but only for probably the first year. So the deal that we talked about with him is we're not going to put a ton of miles on this. We're not going to risk rock chips or broken glass or chipped chrome in the bumper, because he's not going to drive it a lot for the first year. He's just going to do some shows, stare at it in his garage, and then as he gets more comfortable with it, he'll drive it more. So at that point, we'll get it back and go through it and put a lot more miles on it. But for now, it's going to be a Trailer Queen, so all the comments can talk about Trailer Queens, but we'll see, you'll see the truck driving around for at the end of the video, and probably saw some at the beginning of the video. Anyway, rambling done. Underneath here, we have a GSI airbag chassis. We have a Curry 9-inch rear end. Like I said, the exhaust and some of the plumbing was done by Arizona High Test. We painted some accent pieces to match the interior, and then we converted the AccuAir CVT to just a VT, threw on some Viair compressors, and then we built this little tray in here so he can throw his towels and his cleaning supplies in there and close it up, and you'll never know it was there. It's like a little mini trunk in there. Since we didn't do the exhaust on this, I don't even know what mufflers are. They're long, they're skinny, they're like glass pack looking things, but I don't know what they are. So don't ask. Unless you really, really want to know. Then you get up High Test and ask them. What else? There's some hard lines under there, like I said, High Test did. Powder coat was mostly done. We did powder coat some extra stuff, like we pulled the gas tank out and powder coated that, painted some accent pieces. We did build the bed floor and everything for this. This is kind of our recipe. This is the Dakota digital actuators that we sell on our website with the controller for them. And then we have, these are the LS Fab hinges, which are basically the same as our billet hinges. This is more like an economical version. It's just flat plate steel. But if you want, you can go on our website and you can get the billet versions, which are really cool. But these also do the job great. All right, so under the hood, I did make sure that this was wiped down. If anybody watches the shop update videos, which hopefully you do, and if you don't, you should go watch them. Marlin brought us this engine, and it was supposedly rebuilt. Flash forward to done painted truck, fully detailed, chassis, fully assembled, ready to run. Let's top it off with fluids and call Kyle to come and start it. We came in the next morning when Kyle was supposed to come in, and we noticed that there was coolant between the head and the block. Why is there coolant between the head and the block? The only way to find out is tear the engine back apart. So we pulled the heads off, pulled all this out, well, pulled everything off the top of the engine, pulled the head off while it was still in the engine bay, and found that these heads and the block were both pitted to shit. Like nobody had rebuilt this engine. Somebody threw a cam at it, and it looked like they took some 36 grit sandpaper and sanded some of the high spots out, but it was still terrible. That's why the engine was leaking coolant between the head and the block, because somebody did a very piss poor job of putting this thing back together, and it should have never been put back together because of the condition the engine was in. That being said, we ripped the entire engine back out, sent it off to Kelly's machine, where they machined the engine, new pistons, new bearings, new seals. We did a complete head rebuild, and then spec'd out a cam with new springs, new oil pump, new timing set. We just threw everything at this. So this is basically a brand new engine. And then we were able to spec a torque converter for this transmission to match up with the cam. So now this thing shifts when it's supposed to, drives like it's supposed to, sits at idle at a stoplight like it's supposed to, does all the stuff it's supposed to, and we know it's, I won't say bulletproof because you could get on it and blow something up, but it's in a great shape. The downfall of that is Frank also had to repaint the engine after it got back from the machine shop. So that's the long story of the engine. Short story of the engine is this is a 6-liter block. This is obviously drive-by cable. We did the Holley concealed coil, valve covers on it, and a Holley intake manifold. Built a quick little simple intake for it. Tried to keep it as straight as possible for mass airflow readings. We have Eddie Motorsports billet hinges, which work awesome. Like, this is always what's fun, is when you get stuff that actually works. Like, you can put this hood wherever you want and it just stays. So really nice hood hinges. Simple Holley pulley setup. What else we got? We got an Entropy radiator in here that we painted black. We got All-American billet coolant reservoir. This pulley setup has the power steering built into it, so no need for another reservoir. As everybody's seen by now, our favorite master cylinders in the world, also available on our website. The ABS power brakes, master cylinder. For those of you that have never watched one of our videos, it looks like a manual brake setup, but it actually runs an electric over hydraulic pump that we relocate, or that we locate under the truck. And basically when you do a big cam like this thing has, which this isn't huge, but if you do anything that's going to take away from your vacuum, especially at idle, you lose the power of a vacuum assisted brake setup. So your two choices are, well, you got three. You could run manual, which we do every once in a while, but your two main choices are running a big ugly Hydro Boost with a whole bunch of power steering lines behind it, and then you're tying into your power steering system. Works great, kind of sucks to look at. Or you can go with one of these, which is very pleasant to look at, and they work very well. Only complaints I've ever had with these is the brakes are too soft, but I'll take too soft and more effective over ugly and gross. So that's it, front of the hood. Ready? Ready? Come on. All right, I'm just gonna sit down. Brian says the light in here is garbage, so we'll do what we can. So inside, Marlon wanted a very specific interior. If you'll notice, first of all, we have carpet inset into vinyl. So Steve at Elevated Design that does all of our interiors for the most part, with the exception of some cool stuff like wrapping the seats and wrapping the dash. He built all like the fabrication aspect of this interior. So he had to build whole new floors out of wood and then recess a piece into it so that we could have the carpet recessed in there. That's the first time we've done anything like that. I think it's super cool, especially for a truck like this that's going to be mostly a show truck. I mean, he'll drive it every once in a while, but this isn't like go to the store and get your groceries kind of truck. So super cool treatment there. These seats are glide seats that we got from Premier when we got the cab. And then Dominic, D-Bomb, as he's well known, reupholstered these seats, and he did, well, I shouldn't say reupholster, he did upholster. So all we got with the seats were frames. So Dominic built all this foam and upholstered everything to fit and made them just about as big as you can make them on these glide frames. The material is from Hides, and what was cool about Hides is they did this perforated and stitched insert for us, and the cool part about it is the perforations are only between the stitches. So these seats were a lot of work for Dominic. I think they turned out killer. The leather is super nice leather. We ordered the material for the seats. I ordered extra pieces so we could do inserts on the doors. And then we ordered, this is as big as they could make us from Hides, an insert to do the headliner. So we knew we wanted to do the majority of the headliner in this insert material. The factory steel comes to here, so we did have to build a little insert piece around there. But Dominic did a killer job of wrapping all this stuff. It's all foamed behind here and everything. Super nice. Made some of these panels, did the windlace. Whole bunch of work to make this interior pretty monochromatic, but also very modern, I would say. We do have some cubbies, little secret cubbies. And then in here, this thing slides all the way open, and you've got your keys. But then this is a panel that I actually made. We've got engine start, and then we wired all these buttons individually. So we have up and down for power windows, left and right. We've got headlights, we've got high beams, we've got underglow lights, we've got bed lights. As usual with our interiors, a little skirt down here, Resto Mod AC vents, Resto Mod Trick AC controllers, and then of course, the AccuAir controller. And it's cool because it's like right where your hand sits if you're driving. So another cool thing is we have Dakota digital gauges. These are their brand new gauges. These are the ones that are, oh, I'm gonna have to look up the name and tell you the name, and you can like flash it on the screen, but they're new enough that I don't remember the name. But it's a cool new like digital version. We have steering column painted to match, and then we have this nice build specialty steering wheel that closely resembles the shot wheels. And another cool thing in here that people have asked about on these wrap-up videos lately is the rear view mirror. So enough people have asked about this rear view mirror that we like using, and we'll highlight this on this build a little bit because we've had a lot of questions. But this glass wraps all the way around. It's a nice glass mirror, mounts with your standard thing. But we've gotten so many questions, I'm gonna put those on our website. So I've plugged our website a few times on this truck, but we're gonna keep doing it. So Tre5Customs.com, I'm gonna get those on there. It's just a cool looking inexpensive rear view mirror as compared to like those billet ones that are several $100s. So cool for your old truck, especially when you're going more modern. What else? Big 10-inch radio. Did we get the radio? Marlon was big on this. He wanted something big, easy to see. So this is Kenwood's 10-inch version, and then this is controlling a JL amplifier, JL subs, and a set of Morels up front. This is where we are, in case anybody wants to know. Right by the Cardinal Stadium. But look, how cool is CarPlay? Like, why have a vehicle that doesn't have CarPlay in it? Like, if you're driving a truck somewhere and you're used to getting in like your new truck and having maps on your dash, and then you want to get like a little radio that doesn't have a screen, and it's cool for looks wise, but this is cool for like usability, ease. Anyway, push start off. This video is gonna be cut up a little bit because we don't like the lighting here. And we're just gonna be honest with you, because this YouTube isn't that serious. It's just supposed to be something for you to watch and have fun. So we don't like the lighting. As you can see, like my shadows on the truck, and the other side of the truck's fully in shade, and it's just not that cool of a spot. And Brian's filming his own shadow. So honestly, you're gonna see this part, but then we're gonna go do rolling shots at another day when the lighting's better and the clouds are a little bit more apparent, because right now there is not a damn cloud in the sky, which for a black truck kind of sucks, is what the photographer tells me. I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it's not too cut up. Maybe our filming guy, Grinder TV, not like the app, but like the TV, can edit this video so that it looks cool for you. So thanks for watching. There's a shirt of this truck on our website. We did a cartoony looking truck because this truck is like too nice to be real in our brains. So we did like a cartoony one of this, and I think it came out really cool. Still have a whole bunch of them on the website. Like I said earlier, we'll be at Lone Star Throwdown February next month, and we'll have shirts, and we'll actually have this truck there. So thanks again. We got more coming. See you on the next one. And go watch the shop update videos. Those get not as many views as these. See you later.